So this is a prototype of what we're going to do, what we're hoping to do with our tomatoes, but more permanent. And since it's a prototype, I just got some T-posts, and what we're going to do is we're going to put shade cloth over the top of these tomatoes. Let me get you a closer view of what's going on. So these T-posts, I think they're 8.5 feet. 6-footers, 6.5 footers were just too short. I don't want to have to duck underneath this. Then we took these brackets that mount onto them. We put those on there, and then to make it easy, I just took some of the old cattle panels that we had, and they're 16 feet long and 8 feet pressure treated 2x4s. We just got some 8x16 shade cloth that are, I can't remember, they're not super, they're not real shady. I can't remember. I'll have to ask my wife. I believe they're 60, maybe 40 or 60. For some reason that rings a bell. But anyways, I may end up having to put some supports down on the sides to keep this from rocking, but we'll have to see. So here's a time lapse of me doing this evening. So as you can see, the corn is in those, in that paper, under that paper, and we just don't have time to sit out here and weed anymore. I mean, we have full-time jobs. My wife's a nurse. We just don't have time to sit out here and weed. So a couple hours on the weekend, it may take a little longer up front, but in the long run, it's just so much easier. It's not as pretty, no, but yeah, it cuts down on our daily labor. And the beds, those are so much easier. I mean, raised beds, that's the way to go, really. You can pick one bed a day, an afternoon, 10 minutes, it's done. So what we have we got 10 beds. So, you know, in a week's time, you've got probably maximum 100 minutes. So a little over an hour and a half of weeding. And that's when it's really heavy. But we've got them picked down so much now that it's really just maybe a minute or two. And the ways that she plants the beds now, I'll take you a tour of that and show you how she's kept some weed suppression down. But anyways, I gotta get this done. So these flower beds, our raised garden beds, she puts onions around the edge. Yeah, that's a garlic from last year. Onions, peppers. Can't remember what those are. She'll have to give you a tour of this and tell you. Marigolds, maybe. I believe those may be marigolds. More peppers, and then the cucumbers are all on the end. And then we just plant them real thick. And then that is micro clover that she has planted. It was real thick, but just kind of died back a little. Here's some more of her micro clover in this bed. That's borage, or whatever you call it. More cucumbers. we found that if we plant cucumbers, we found if we plant cucumbers in different stages that uh, they don't seem to last long here. So you definitely have to plant cucumbers in different stages of growth, or you'll just have one big run and then none. And then here's some more of her micro clover in this bed. I'm sure I'm sure we can get her to give you all a better tour and tell you exactly what everything is. But anyways, on to project number 2 for the evening. Hello, girls. Yep, that'll be a problem. Dang it. That feed that we have gets big corn cobs in it, and it'll stop the shoot up. So you gotta be careful and watch that. You can kind of tell when it's stopped up. There won't be any chickens in the coop, and they'll all be out here. They'll let you know. Um, they've got it's roughly a quarter acre of electric that they can run on. Oh, yeah, it's over a little over a quarter of an acre um, that they can forage out in the pasture. That's a Moultrie game feeder from Walmart. It's a $99 job. Um, it's I like it. Um, it took the chickens about 2 weeks to get used to the feeder going off. Now they know when it goes off that there's feed. Obviously, you can see them running down there. But it goes off 4 times a day for 20 seconds at a time. Um, I don't know if that's enough feed for them, but they do get 22% quail and game bird feed. They love it. They like it better than the layer pellets. So um, something here I'll show you that I've done. We had those two waterers. Between them, that's 8 gallons of water. And with 61 chickens, that just would not last very long at all. So what I've done was I found this barrel right here with a stand, and it had a hole in the bottom of it, a threaded hole, 2-inch hole. I put a reducer on it down to a 1-inch pipe, and then I put these cups on here, and they work really well. They do get dirty, but that that amount of water, that's 55 gallons of water in there. So it's down to 45. I'd say by the time you top it off, it's probably closer to 60 gallons of water, and that'll last them a long, long time. Um, I need to put some water for the bees. Um, but I like it because it's just got a flip top lid. I know, bee. Poor bee's real thirsty. I know, buddy. Here's some water. You better get out of there. There you go. You always want to leave your bees some rocks to get on. See there? That's copper. Keep the um, keep the algae down, so that your bees don't get any kind of bad. Such your bees don't get. I'll tell you when the rooster quits crowing. That keeps your bees water clean. So there's 2 things that you don't really hear a lot of talk about in homesteading that are kind of a pain. Roosters crow continuously, day, night, mornings. They don't care. So um, that's that's one thing. The second thing is flies. We've got cattle out here, and they can come right up to this chicken coop. Even though the chicken coop is cleaned out at least once a week, the flies, I guess they just migrate off, come off of the cows. I guess the flies just come off the cows, and it's not, they just flock to this chicken coop. We have fly tape everywhere in the chicken coop. I mean, I can see three, four, there's at least four fly tapes in here, and I change them regularly. The cattle look great. Um, you know, we sell at the stock barn, but if you wanted cattle to eat, just pure grass-fed cattle with absolutely nothing but minerals and salt and hay in the winter. I mean, these are what you're after. But um, right now, we're not we're not selling to the public. Um, so hopefully in the future, one day we can. And that's exactly, we're going to continue doing what we're doing with the cattle. So yes, you can put fly spray on your cattle and keep the flies down, but we're not putting anything on them. We're not putting anything on their feed. We're not giving them shots, medicine, nothing. They're on their own. Um, Now, that being said, yes, we may throw some grain to them to catch them uh, right before they ship out, but other than that, they don't get anything. So, all right, I'm gonna go collect eggs, and I may clean the coop and fill that up. I don't think I'm gonna fill that up tonight because it's supposed to start raining, and I don't really want to risk. I really don't want to risk a whole bunch of my feed getting wet in the feeder. So they've got 50 pounds in there. That'll last them several more days. So, all right. Thanks for watching.